What is up, y'all? It is Sippin' Saturday or Sippin' Sunday, depends on when you watch this. It's the weekend. We're making a cocktail. I felt like having something a little bit different. We've been making a lot of old fashions lately, especially on Wednesdays, because Whiskey Wednesday, need an old fashioned. Gotta know if it old fashions. This is a bit of a derivation on that. It's kind of like a Sazerac. We've made one of those before. It's pretty good times. This is an improved whiskey cocktail. So initially, an old fashioned wouldn't have been called an old fashioned because that's silly. It's not a throwback until it is one. It would have just been a whiskey cocktail. This is an improved whiskey cocktail, so it's very similar. And then obviously the old fashioned being called an old fashioned was an answer to the improved whiskey cocktail. Here we are. We're going to start off with a mixing glass. Hold a bunch of ice because I feel like this one needs to be a little bit frosty. Crack one. I'm going to break ice all over my basement, apparently. There we go. So like I said, this is going to be very much like an old-fashioned, just with some improvements. And I think we can really, really get there today. I've never actually made one of these because I've only just recently got some of the ingredients for it. I've had one or two at a bar, but who's to say how that's going to work out? Where do we start? This is, like I said, it's like an old-fashioned, so it's going to play with that whiskey, bitters, sugar play, and just add stuff to it. We're going to start off with our simple syrup. 1/4 ounce, nothing too crazy. Probably go a little bit less than 1/4 ounce with this one because this is a rich simple syrup. Ice is making noise. That's always fun. Demon ice. Good times. Bitters. The recipe calls for Bokers Bitters. I don't have that. It's an old school style of bitters, and apparently they've only just been rediscovered. But 2 dashes of any kind of aromatic bitters. I'm using Ango because I've got it. It's nice. I enjoy it. Where are we next? Next up, whiskey. It's supposed to be rye. I kind of wanted to do bourbon, but I think I'm going to stick with the instructions on this one and go with the rye. I could go with Sazerac, but I feel like I already used those in Sazeracs too much, so I don't really want to do that right now because this drink's already close enough to a Sazerac that I don't want to blend too much. Go with the Rittenhouse. It was really good. I like this one a lot, but I think I want it to stand out a little bit more. I'm going to go a little bit proofier. Go with the Sagamore rye. Partially just because I haven't really used much of it. I kind of want to. 2 ounces here. Get a little spilly. Because we're silly that way. Cork goes back in so no one freaks out about it. Back there you go. Here's where the improved comes in. We're going to go 1/4 ounce of Maraschino Liqueur. Now, what is Maraschino Liqueur? I'm guessing you hear that a little high. It'll be fine. And you're thinking maraschino cherries. Bright red nuclear cherries. Because those are maraschino cherries. No, this is more derived from the pits of cherries. It's very herbal. It's kind of like chartreuse a little bit, but not. Yeah, gives you that nice warm feeling all the way down. Just delightful. All right, we're almost ready to stir this up. I think we can probably put a little bit more ice in there because that's starting to dilute a little bit. Taking a while talking. Here's where we take one change. 1 dash of absinthe. I could just spritz it, but I got these fancy new Dasher bottles back in Christmas and haven't had anything to put in them. So we're going to try them out. Dash. Here I was thinking I was going to put bitters in there. Boy, was I wrong. Love me some absinthe. You can also do an absinthe rinse. Hey, I said it. Holy smokes. But I kind of want to try it this way. See how it works. Give this a nice stir. We'll let the glass get a little frosty, hopefully. Throw some ice out of the glass. That's delightful, too. I've seen a couple of different requirements for this, whether you serve it up and just in a chilled glass, which we didn't do today, or over a fresh ice cube, which is what we're actually going to do. Big old ice ball into the murder glass. Strain in. That is a big old cocktail. Holy smokes. We're having a drink, kids. Oh, okay. And to finish off, I'm going to garnish with lemon. Now, do I want to do peel? I think I'm going to be fancy with it. Go a little fancy. I got a channel knife here. Do this over top of the drink. Do a nice long one. Expressing some of the oils as I'm doing this over top of the drink, so we're double threading this thing. Okay, we've got that. Let's see if I can wind this up real quick. That was terrible. Toss that on the side. Ooh, that's actually looking real good. I'm okay with that. Here we go. My first ever improved whiskey cocktail. Let's give it a try. Oh man, that's good. Oh, that's tasty. It's a little heavy, just because, well, I used a 115 proof rye, 112 proof rye, so that's a good news. I did see one other thing that was recommended online to improve the improved whiskey cocktail, and that is just to season the edge of the glass with a little bit of lemon. So we're going to try that out too and see if that gets us anything fun. A little lemon juice on the side. Oh, that's tasty. Man, that's good. Love it. The absinthe, the little absinthe really isn't there, but it's kind of there, but not really there. The maraschino is really the star of the show. Well, aside from the whiskey, obviously, that just makes sense. But wow, that's delicious. It's not quite as much of a sit as a Sazerac is, where you got to really want a Sazerac to have it. That's just a really tasty. That's just a really tasty old fashioned, mostly. Oh man, that is an improved whiskey cocktail. It's improved. A little dangly bit too. It's fine. We're having another with Espo. You're gonna want another of these. That's delicious. Man, go ahead and try one. Select few. Come on down. I'll make you one. This is delicious. Got to find another descriptor other than delicious because I've said it about 5 times this video already. Anyway, that's about it. That's all I got. It's the weekend. Go have some fun out there. Hopefully the weather turns. Cheers. And we're stopping.